My name is Brandon Lee, and in collaboration with the Richmond Maritime Festival, I'm creating an abstracated illustrative representation of the Providence ship, of which, at the time of recording the video, is currently located at the West Coast Canadian waters, recently departed from the Stevenson Harbor where it is usually berthed at. I'll get into the history of the ship, but first I just wanted to mention the materials I'm using. For all the black, I'm using golden high flow acrylics put inside of a Montana refillable pump marker, and once I finish the outline of the boat, the line work for the water, and the line work for the sky, I begin to use my Copic markers, which is an alcohol ink, to color in my work, creating a stained glass style approach to color. The ship itself initially was built and launched 1903 in Denmark by N. Nielsen and Son in Frederikshavn, Denmark, and has quite the expansive history. Upon its creation, it was first called the Valkyrin, and its purpose was to be sailed as a fishing vessel fitted with 2 masts and an auxiliary 2-stroke 1-cylinder engine. It sailed under that name until 1921, at which point it was sold to the new owners, who had changed its name to Ruth, and again had changed ownership in 1927 and changed its name to Kiss. The ship had continued serving its purpose as a fishing vessel all the way up until 1940. In 1940, the vessel was then chartered by the Royal Danish Navy for patrol service in domestic waters. The vessel continued serving the Danish Navy until it was commandeered by the German Navy in 1943 in World War II. The following year of 1944, it was repatriated by the Danish government, where it served exclusively for defensive purposes until 1958, changing the vessel's name in 1949 to Lone, and was struck from the civil registry in 1951. The then called Lone, and also called Y340 by the Navy, served with the military until 1976. In the period between 1958 and 1976, it had been transferred to the care of the Danish Maritime Home Guard stationed at Kolding and Fredericia. In 1976, the vessel was sold at auction to a new owner by the name of Bjørken Little Egeberg, and was once again renamed to Lisbeth Vig and was re-enlisted in the Civil Shipping Registry. This proved to be the most short-lived ownership of the vessel, as in 1978 it was deleted from the Danish Shipping Registry and was sold to a man named Peter Watson, who then changed his name to what we all know it to be called now, Providence. This absolute legend of a man then in 1979 sailed to the Pacific Northwest via the Panama Canal, where it was then transferred to Victoria, BC, and went under major restorative efforts the following years. During Peter Watson's time with the Providence in 1985, he went to the Caribbean to work as a cargo vessel and was back in BC by 1988, working as a packer in the commercial fishing industry. In 2004 and 2005, the fishing hold was removed and a new main salon was built, and it worked as a charter vessel. Watson continued ownership and operation until 2017 and concluded his 40-year ownership, where it was then sold to Simon Fox and Danny Robertson in 2017. Simon Fox and Danny Robertson then launched the Providence Charters Limited the following year of 2018. During 2018, Providence went under about 8 months of refit, where they replaced the covering boards, hull planking, and refastening. With all the efforts put in by Peter Watson, Simon, and Danny, over the years the Providence is sailing as quite the impressive vessel. The cargo capacity of Providence is up to 20 tons. Its overall length works out to be 24.4 meters, or 80 feet. The hull length is 19.5 meters, or 64 feet, and is now powered by a 165 horsepower Volvo Penta engine. This is where it's currently at in regards to its long-standing history as a vessel, and it's currently doing scheduled sail cargo services in the Salish Sea, which is a scenic waterway between the United States and Canada, and as of 2020, the Providence is the official flagship of the city of Richmond. With that, this concludes my brief history lesson on the Providence. I want to express my gratitude to the Richmond Maritime Festival for getting me involved. In doing this painting, I learned a lot about this vessel's history, and I hope I provided you with some insight as to just how much history is in this vessel alone. I'd like to thank everyone involved at the Richmond Maritime Festival, its organizers, and the patrons that make this whole festival possible. The painting I made for this festival is 18 by 24, made on 100-pound cardstock, with acrylic and alcohol ink. I enjoyed working on this painting, and learning about the Providence afterwards. Thank you again very, very much for your time. I really do appreciate it. If you wanted to follow me on any social media, my handle is Imagniac. That's IMAGNIAC on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Thanks again.